But my thesis simply is that the dark side is much more dark than we thought, and maybe even more important ultimately than the light. And in the end, he had to get rid of the man in South Vietnam, Mr. Diem, the president of South Vietnam. In the end, I'm not sure John F. Kennedy believed in the war any more than Robert McNamara, who wrote that amazing book in retrospect, in which he acknowledged he did not think we could win the war, and yet sent boy after boy to die, and Vietnamese to die too. John F. Kennedy gave us the first use, I have to say this, of napalm against civilian targets in Vietnam. He gave us the first use of defoliants against food crops in Vietnam. He was the first president to authorize massive relocation of civilians out of their farms into what they called fortified and strategic hamlets, basically holding pens for human beings, many of whom would immediately leave. They weren't protected in these large concrete fortresses surrounded by barbed wire and controlled by the South Vietnamese government at day and the Viet Cong at night. We declared the areas that they had left free fire zones eventually, and would bomb and kill anybody that moved in them. And of course, many of the peasants went back there. He gave us that.